All right, guys, so we've given you some tips to be a challenge, keep her interested, keep her attracted. We've talked about how to add a little spice of romance, which we think is important for keeping a girl into you. Now, things don't always run smoothly, let's be honest here, guys. I mean, it's like we could do all these things, but everybody is going to run into some fights, debates, maybe an argument here and there. So let's talk about some relationship roadblocks and also some solutions. So I have a saying. My saying is, good girls will test you. All women are going to test you in some way. They might not even realize they're doing it because women have to test you to find out if you're the real deal. A guy could be acting confident. You probably have little ways to find out, is this guy really confident or is he just kind of pretending? So you're gonna test a guy. But crazy women, the women that you don't want to associate with, at least me, are gonna try to sabotage. It's not even a test. It's like, I'm blowing this whole thing up and let's see what happens. And like, so I think there's a subtle difference. So don't think that you're not gonna get tested by a woman because, you know, that's just naturally what happens. So why do you think you test men, or how do you test men? Do you even realize what you're doing?
Sometimes I just don't realize that I'm testing them. Like, for example, I hung out with an ex who's a friend of mine. We've been friends for like 10 years. And, you know, 10 years ago he was my boyfriend. And I told my boyfriend that, oh, I just saw so-and-so. Like, I let him know, you know, he is an ex from like a long time ago. And that was a huge argument. And I didn't mean to test him. But, you know, I found out that that does not fly. Ex-boyfriend friends don't fly. And so I found that out. So it wasn't like a test, like, oh, let's see if I can hang out with my exes. It was just something that happened. Found out that's not okay. There had to be some compromise. You know?
So did he fail this test? Pass this test? What?
It's not like a pass-fail. It's like, okay, this does not work with you. And so I have to weigh out my options here. And, you know, I choose to compromise, and I understand where he's coming from.
I feel the same way. Like, I don't think I always realize that I'm testing him, but I would say I do it for, like, reassurance, even, like, the point that you were making. So I'm, like, asking, like, I find myself asking silly questions, like, more than once, and he's like, what are you doing? Like, why are you even, you know, just to get the answer that I want. And just to, like, make sure, okay, like, that's still how you feel, or you're not going to do that, or you are going to do that, are you going? And I don't know why we do it.
So do you have an example?
But it's, like, reassurance.
Right, you want, like we said, we want to make sure the guy's the real deal. Mm-hmm. So how would a guy fail a test? What is a guy like if he loses control of his emotions, if he starts yelling, how does a guy, you look at him and you wouldn't think, oh, he failed the test, but he'd be like, oh, whoa, I wasn't expecting this response. This guy doesn't have it all together here.
No.
It's
a tough one. That one varies from guy to guy, I think.
Yeah, because, like,
varies.
Are you saying, like, that he would get annoyed that you're testing him?
Well, like you said, you wouldn't even know you were doing it, but it's like you just see a reaction, and it's like,
you know,
let's just say I'm driving a girl somewhere, right? And she's just like, wow, you're all over the road, almost like joking around, and I would be like, I'm not all over the road. I know how to drive. Like you'd be whoa.
Okay, so that'd be like a temper test. Like,
right.
Okay, road rage.
Right.
Like, now I know not to talk to you when you're driving.
Right.
Noted. Like, we keep a little notebook in our brain, maybe, to keep, okay, this is cool, this is not cool, just so we know.
Right.
I guess it's our way of gaining information, maybe, is the way that we look at it.
It probably is, because this is just an example. Like, if a guy was going out with his, like, guy friends, and he said that there was going to be, like, maybe saying, like, there was no girls were going to be there, but, like, his girlfriend, like, keeps asking, like, who was there and who's whatever.
Right.
And even though she knows, like, there's probably was not any girls there, like, asking, did you talk to any girls? Did you guys hang out with any girls?
Yeah.
Did any girls show up? Did anything? And you, in your heart, know that the answer, like, is no if you trust him and you have to believe that he's not lying, but you just keep picking at that topic so much, almost because you want to be proven wrong in, like, a weird, sick way. Like, you want him to be doing something bad. Right. So you pick at it so much that you wind up getting into a fight because now he's like, okay, you clearly don't trust me.
Right.
So I've been in, like certain circumstances like that, not that exactly, but girls do things like that. They'll just, like, pick at you, just trying to catch you in any little thing when you're not even doing anything wrong.
I would say that that's for a guy, that's a red flag.
That's a red flag.
If she's
if
doing
it's happening all the
something
time.
like that, like a
Right.
lot,
all the time.
and it's blatant, it's like a constant test, then I feel like he needs to let her know that he's aware that she's doing this and that needs to stop.
So if you're a guy at home, because like we just said, you're gonna encounter some of these tests, what's the best way to handle it? Like what I tell guys is like, don't avoid it, but kind of diffuse it with humor, diffuse the situation, have control of your emotions. Like, I know it's hard, sometimes you wanna, take it to the next level and get crazy, but it's like you just have to remain calm and just deal with it and not get too crazy about it.
I've definitely diffused some of those situations with humor. Like I know if a guy's like, oh, so what are you just like hanging out with a bunch of guys over there? I'm like, oh yeah, me and all my other boyfriends, and then it's like they laugh at themselves because they're like, I know I'm the only one. Like they laugh. So I've definitely diffused.
Diffuse with humor, I think, is
But
a
also
great
don't
technique.
don't be the
clown.
try to prove the point.
Right.
Because just to use like that example, don't be like, no, I swear I'm not like with any other guys. I'm not doing this. I'll send you a picture. I'll
Don't
do
get
this.
so
Don't get
defensive and
so
crazy.
defensive
Yes.
that you're like, because then it's almost like they won. Like they
Right.
know
Yeah.
like they completely have you like
Right.
under their thumb.
I think diffuse with humor is the best tactic, it looks like. But don't overdo it again. Don't become a clown.
Right.
If she's legitimately hurt, maybe once in a while you have that serious, like, listen, nothing's happening. Yes, I'm with these
Every
girls.
once in a while, everyone
Right.
needs a little reassurance.
Exactly.
I really love you and only you.
Right.
I would never do anything to disrespect you. Like once in a while. If you need that every day, that's bad.
Right, not every time. So diffuse with humor and once in a while have that more kind
Reassuring.
of serious communication. All right, so what about insecurity? What about, we have beautiful women here. What if you're a guy, like you start dating him and he's feeling like, I'm not up to, in the looks department, I'm not good looking enough to be dating girls like this. Have you ever encountered that? Being models and stuff.
We've definitely encountered insecurities, and it's like, we try to reassure once in a while, but if you're that needy, then you need to go backwards and like be by yourself for a little while, find the confidence, because again, you're gonna put so much pressure on the other person to lift your spirits all the time.
One thing that I think that guys do that is a big no-no, but for some reason it's a guy thing, they almost try to put you down a little bit and maybe pull out some of your insecurities just so they're trying to check you in a way, but they're doing it because they're insecure, and like you said, they feel like, okay, maybe like either this girl is out of my league or whatever. So I've been with guys that try to like always like put me down. Like they never wanted to be like, either you're beautiful, you're the one for me, or you're
It's
whatever.
like, oh,
they
so
almost
you think
did like,
you're so hot?
yeah,
It's
like
like, no.
sorry that you're
I don't.
like a model
Apparently
and
you
you're.
do.
Right.
And I'm like, what? Like,
Yeah.
where is that like
Well,
coming?
that's,
and then,
that's a negative challenge. Again, we're talking about positive and negative. A positive challenge could tell you, you know what, you're beautiful, not overdo it. But then again, he has his own life, his own things. He's doing amazing things, so that
Right.
makes him more of a challenge.
but as far as like the insecurities, I think
Don't try
that
to
got,
if
like,
you're insecure, don't knock a girl down to your level.
Right.
That's just gonna be ugly.
if anything, you should be wanting to show her like you're the best guy that like she could
Show her
possibly
your
have in her
strengths.
life.
Maybe you don't feel like you're good looking enough, then maybe you're really funny, really smart, maybe you're a great cook. Show off all your strength. Don't worry about your negative, because she's not worrying about your negative, obviously, if she's with you.
So, what tips can you give a guy for like dating a beautiful woman, like the girls that model, girls that do these things? Because it's you have different lives maybe than the average girl. You're doing stuff, exciting stuff. You're here, you're there.
I want to say, if this girl is dating you, you're good enough. So just take that. Take that and run with it.
Just like be yourself and just don't. I mean, that stuff really
Don't
doesn't
question
matter.
yourself. Yeah.
Yeah, because like you said, if she's dating you, then she's dating
You're
you for a
obviously good
reason.
enough,
So.
yeah.
All right, so that's a confidence issue, which obviously girls like. But okay, beautiful women again. Now, jealousy is always a problem, and I think we talked about a little bit about this yesterday, was when you're in this role, like you guys model and stuff like that, there's going to be even more jealousy, right? Sometimes people are jealous of what you're doing, your maybe choices, things like that. What does a guy do wrong in these situations, and what can he do better?
Don't try to change a girl. If this is what she's done, this is who she is, like, those are not things that you can say, okay, well, you fix this. I'll be over here and you let me know when you're done fixing. Those are not one of those things. Like if it's a career thing, if maybe it's a religious thing, maybe it's a political thing, things that you cannot say, well, I don't like this, so change. That's how you met her. That's who she is. You either accept her for who she is, or you just you have to get over yourself.
Yeah, and you can't judge that just because she might be in a certain industry that means she's a bad girl. She's always being wild and always
Right.
you either trust the person or you don't.
Right.
Because it doesn't matter what industry you're in, what you do, what you look like. If you're gonna cheat, you're going to cheat. Doesn't matter. You could.
I think guys tend to put girls in these bins, and it's if you do this, you're a bad girl. You go in the bad girl bin. If
Yes.
you do this, if you're a sweet, innocent, nurse, then you go in the good girl bin. That means they'll never cheat on me.
Yeah.
Don't
Right.
judge people by what they do,
Definitely.
what they believe, whatever. Anyone can cheat, so you can't file away and oh, you're this type of person. Everyone's different.
All right, let's say a guy can't control himself, just jealousy. We're out. Let's talk about male jealousy for a second. I'm out with you, we're going out, and you're getting a lot of male attention. What's the best way for a guy to deal with this?
To not make a scene.
No.
Because that is the worst. The best way to be, stay face and bring it up later. It made me really uncomfortable when this happened. And don't say, you make me uncomfortable. That's an attack. If you say, I get really uncomfortable when guys are around and I feel like